Alright, what's up everybody? It's Lids, and we are back for some more Gwent, and well, today we are going to be going in to do some more Battle Rush, which is the alternate game mode in which players have just 8 seconds to take their turn and 15 seconds to choose cards during the mulligan phase. However, today we are going to be mixing things up a little bit and creating a deck live on stream. What? I know, right? This is crazy. Let's do it. So, basically, the idea was Invigorate, although technically the best of the leader abilities to go along with what we're trying to do here, is, well, very, very slow. And that is the reason why it was not one of the things that I wanted to do initially with one of our first decks for this event, because kinda thought we'd have some trouble with it. And as we saw, matching up against one of our previous decks, yeah, our previous deck is much better. But let's see. Could go Guerrilla Tactics. I mean, it's not super fast. It's marginally faster. Do we have enough nature cards for Call of Harmony to work? Because technically speaking, this is... Oh, no, not... No, Nature's Gift, rather, is technically the fastest, because it does have a passive ability with Symbiosis. So this would be ideal for this event specifically. It just doesn't work quite as well with this deck. The question is, how many nature cards do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4. We're not really getting much benefit out of shaping, or out of, the Nature's Gift Symbiosis. And we would be 1 provision over. We'd probably get rid of Feign Death. I mean, Feign Death, as we saw. We threw it in because we could, but it wasn't really helping us. In truth, what we probably should do is, instead of just throwing all our provisions away in a scenario that we don't really care about, is upgrade some of our 4 provision cost units. Because we seem to have a lot of hand boosters, but maybe not quite enough targets, or at least get rid of some hand boosters and just put in some generic, decent cards that we don't really... they may not directly tie into our strategy, but they will, at the very least, be good for a few points. Anything else? I mean, of course, there are some big neutrals, but we'd like to say Devotion, so that we guarantee that we get Torque. But we could... We're feeling really bold. We could try Simless. I mean, this is another one that's going to take an eternity to play, and so we are quite literally not going to be able to have any control over the copies of cards that we play from our deck. So that makes me a little nervous, but if we're willing to accept that fact, then, maybe that's okay. Otherwise, like we were saying before, Gezras is just always a good card. That could be a way to fill in those provisions, and again, a card that doesn't necessarily need to be a target of hand boosting, and doesn't do any hand boosting, but it's just generally good for putting up points, might be kind of what we're saying we need right now. Probably better at doing that than Feign Death was, so maybe that is preferable. Means we have 1 provision remaining. We could upgrade something. I feel like the hand boosters that can only boost a specific type of card do make me nervous. I think on a few occasions we came close to not having anything to boost, or at least the things we had to boost were not really the targets we wanted. So, if anything, I'd say we probably dump one of them. We have, We have technically 2 dwarf, or actually 3 dwarf cards that we could boost. Sheldon is the key one. Mahakam Defender is not bad to hand boost. I guess it's kind of the same with Vrihedd Sabotuer, though, because Filavandrel is the ideal target. We even seen, we got Filavandrel like once, but alternatively, we have Watcher of the Valley, which again is not great, but it's kind of like Mahakam Defender. If we don't have any other targets, sure, we'll take it as our target for our hand boosting. Mahakam Volunteers also... I mean, we have been able to use it once or twice effectively, but I don't know, maybe we keep that in. Ciaran definitely has been good. I think that was a good idea to throw in a tech card like that, but we are looking to upgrade one thing. We get in some kind of 5 here. Yeah, thanks for stopping by, Rumi. Let's see. I mean, if we are going Nature's Gift, we'd kind of like to have more nature cards or more symbiosis cards. I mean, we don't have a lot of nature cards going on right now, so I guess that's what we do. Oh, technically, yeah. Technically, Circle of Life does give us hand boosting. I totally forgot about this. Yeah. I suppose we do that. And we get rid of you. And in some ways, we'd like to get a second Circle of Life in there. I mean, I'm not sure we're really going to have enough damage to consistently trigger this death blow. Because what other sources of damage do we have? Dunca, but we'd rather not use that damage because we're mostly just playing her for the hand boosting. Sheldon, yes, but that's only going to happen fairly late in the round, and I don't know how likely that is that, you know, we're actually going to be able to use Sheldon to set up a Circle of Life. That may be kind of unrealistic. Gezras, I suppose, adding him does potentially set us up for a little bit more death blow potential. Yeah, I guess. What if we dump Mahakam Volunteers? I know it was our only real source of thinning, which was theoretically a nice thing to have, but then... Oh, did we have? Oh yeah, we did have the provisions technically to have them in, but I think we'd like to be a little bit more special heavy, especially if we are going to try out using Nature's Gift instead. So, more nature cards, like Nature's Rebuke. Boost random allied Treant. We will get Treants now, consistently with Symbiosis, so that's more palatable. And again, having special cards in our hand means that, obviously the special cards are not going to get boosted. So that means it is more likely that the hand-boosting targets are actually going to be the ones that get those boosts. So this might be a little more well-balanced in that sense as well. So this might be what we're looking for. Let's try this. Okay. Let's give this a shot. Alright, so going up against monsters here. Notably, not Carapace. So probably not Keltalis. Okay. Let's see, we have a couple of targets for hand boosting. A few ways to do that hand boosting, including a Dryad, so that works well there. I think we probably don't need Mahakam Defender in that case. And probably didn't want the Dwarven Agitators either, actually. Let's see, we want hand boosting down here first. Oh, we don't have the hand boosting I wanted. We're not gonna have time to choose our card. What's gonna get boosted? Not this. We didn't want this. I was really looking for a Hawker Smuggler or Dunca, and we didn't have either, so I was like, oh, what? Where's the hand boosting I'm looking for? We didn't have it, was the answer. So we will play that, and this time we actually do get the chance to boost the card we want to boost, so that's nice. Oh, they get greedy and play more Thrive, which they don't. I was going to say we should have used Circle of Life. I was a little distracted trying to make up for the fact that we did not get the hand boosting we wanted last time. So, yeah. We really don't have any good options here. Like, really don't have any good options here. Okay, Snowdrop. They immediately use her order ability, which they will. They're not going to have time to choose what they do with her, but there will be enough to get her out of removal range, which is unfortunate. I mean... Don't really have any options. Like, we'll play a hand-boosting card that isn't hand-boosted. They have Sunset Wanderers? They do, don't they? They're like, why did you play that? That's a terrible play. You're right. You're right, it was. Looks like they're kind of just going with the standard Monsters Relic deck. Which, given how messed up our hand was, / how we weren't able to set things up with Ithlinne, is going to be sufficient to take us out. I mean, obviously we would have liked to have used our stratagem, but couldn't use it on that last turn without having to actually play a card, and didn't want to go a card down when we were definitely going to lose. Okay, so what we really want are the generic hand boosters. No. Yes! That's what I was looking for in round 1. Okay, they dry pass. I think I think we just do this. We don't have any targets for it. Obviously, that means we're losing some of our hand boosting. But we don't have anyone in particular that we are trying to boost who's a dwarf right now. And I'd rather save the Hawker Smuggler for a round in which we actually have the time to do a bunch of hand boosting. Especially because we didn't have a lot of it before. Okay, there is Sheldon, who is, of course, a dwarf target for hand boosting, so that's a little unfortunate. Watcher of the Valley, potentially target as well. Except we prefer other ones. Isengrim's Council, not really sure we have a good target for that either. Okay, we do actually have a way to do hand boosting. That is ideal. In this case, we, got a random Torque, which gave us a random Aglais boost. That's amazing. Okay, now we immediately damage you. No, don't trigger Thrive right off the bat and get those out of removal range. That's against the rules. I mean, I suppose we could still Nature's Rebuke one of these guys. Should still be able to do that on our next turn. We might opt to do that. Queen of the Night for Purification. I mean, oh no, Bleed. Shouldn't really matter too much. Okay, there's Sunset Wanderers, and that's going to trigger Thrive as well. So now these are out of removal range, actually. Oh no, that doesn't count. It's technically summoning. Okay. In that case, yes, we do it. Yes, we do it. Okay, we are probably looking to play Ciaran and or Gezras soon, because those are the cards that we don't want to have get hand boosted. Yeah. Even if there isn't really a great target for this right now. Not really sure if they had plans of doing a whole bunch of consuming. Gezras, probably playing him early on our next turn. Definitely no targets right now for Circle of Life, unfortunately. Would have had to have done that with an early Dragon Larva. Okay, now finally Filavandrel is getting some boosts, at least. Ooh, oh, that hurts. That does hurt. Okay, so now... Filavandrel? Sure. Random Scoia'Tael unit. Boost our Hawker Smuggler, who was quite damaged, and boosted by 1 at that, so, I mean, it's something. It is something. Alright, the Beast is certainly not the strongest unit right now. I believe we'll be able to destroy that. Oh no, not quite. Not quite. Hold on. We do this. And maybe we sacrifice... No, Dunca doesn't have enough damage. It's going to save. We use Dunca as well. That would be sufficient. Okay. In this case, no targets for you. Just hit something, and then I think we just do a bunch of this. Ideally, don't trigger this last one on Dunca. Okay, that's fine. Okay, then Aglais is obviously going to be our finisher. We do not have last say, notably. Fortunately, well, I'm hoping they get rid of all their boosting. Or rather, all their locking. So they can't stop Aglais from... Well, I guess they still can't lock Aglais before her ability will trigger. And, well, getting rid of Geralt. That's important. That's important. They probably should have known that this was coming. They may still have a Jurden. We'll have to see about that. But, oh, just did something. So that means it does come down to this last card they have. It may not be enough, but it is Jurden. Of course it's Jurden. It's always Jurden. What's up, Joel? How's it going? How are you? We are indeed doing some Gwent. We are doing some Battle Rush, which is this week's seasonal events, which means we have just 8 seconds to take our turn. We are trying a deck that is using a bunch of new cards that just came out this past Tuesday. However, we are mostly playing this deck because it uses cards that just came out this Tuesday, and not because it's any good in this event in which you have only 8 seconds to take your turn. In fact, the whole 8 seconds thing has caused a lot of issues thus far, which is, let's just say, one of the reasons why this was not the first type of deck that I wanted to make for this event. We did try some other things earlier on, and we did, in fact, even go up against someone who was using our deck earlier today, and, well, that deck is much better, and not surprisingly, it did beat us. But that was probably still one of our strongest performances yet today with this deck. They just so happened to have Jordan, which is obviously a really strong card, and they had last say, so they could reset Aglais, but anything else in that last spot, and we could have potentially won that one. We were in contention for it, even with certainly some not perfect hand draw and what have you. So you know it's possible. It is possible, I think. All right, so going against monsters this time, and it's Fruits of Yizgith. Okay, so let's see. We have at least one target for hand boosting, at least one way to do hand boosting. We don't have a lot of targets. Actually, we would like to change that. We would like to ideally change that, is the thing. The thing is that we would like to ideally change that, except I kind of want to keep those other cards because they're at least half decent. Let's go Hawker Smuggler first, I guess. So we have Filavandrel. He is really the only card that we want to be hand boosting right now. Everything else is just kind of there. Oh, how I wish we actually had removal this time. That would actually be kind of great, except we don't have removal this time. I'm taking way too long. Sure, Bountiful Harvest. Ideally the left card. Actually would have been very helpful. We could have controlled who got boosted. It could have been guaranteed Filavandrel. But I hesitated. So I was looking for a generic booster like the Hawker Smuggler. Knowing that we don't have that, let's go with Aglais here. Let's deliberately boost Filavandrel. Also boost you. And on our next turn, we'll use this ability and might be able to get something decent out of it. Huh? Surely not Altalis, right? Let's see. We could... Oh no, that's specifically boosting Vrihedd. That doesn't work. Okay, just go for the pure boost here. I mean, I guess we could have gone Isengrim's Council earlier to potentially get another hand booster. Oh, it's She Who Knows you're trying to protect. Okay, I see. I see. Oh, what if we... Oh no, lock and reset. I mean, yes. Or rather, lock and move. And at least move you. Let's do this. I have no idea what's going to end up being. Go War of Insight, sure. And now we at least have access to She Who Knows. I'm not sure we have a way to actually get rid of her, though. As much as we might like to do that. We can try some Isengrim's Council. I have no idea what we're going to get. We're going to get... we don't want a Aglais. We don't want a Aglais. We want you. You do automatically get boosted from Isengrim's Council. That means you will get boosted every turn. This might be the last card we want to play here. Ratcatcheress? What is... 8 is going to give us another Isengrim's Council if we play that, right? Otherwise, I mean, do you actually get decent Gezras value here? Don't love playing Gezras in round 1, but we might take that. We might want to take that. Because that's a lot of cards in their melee row. We have a decent amount of cards. Not a ton, but a decent amount in our range row. Lesser Witch. Okay. Get one in their graveyard as well. It does trigger all their thrives. We, I guess, go for this. Get us some Isengrim's Council, and we will see what we get. You. Dunca. Give us more hand boosting. On cards that we don't really want hand... I mean, Torque, we are fine hand boosting, but it's going to boost Freixenet, which doesn't really matter, other than it being a huge card at this point. Elder Bear. Once you consider Gezras, may not quite be enough. I think we pass here. They may not have done enough there. Yeah. I think they... Oh, this, Witch Apprentice is enough for them to tie us, but they do need to play something they want to beat us here. But then Gezras will still go. It's not enough here, but okay, they'll win round 1, but we get a lot of carryover there from all of our hand boosting. Look at this, 19-point Freixenet. Played a lot of Magic the Gathering, but haven't really done much in the way of Gwent. I am a big fan. I haven't really played much Magic the Gathering myself, but okay, let's see. We want to get rid of, I think, both of you guys. And we do... Oh, except we do need something. We do need to play something this turn. Or this round. Oh, they're going for it. Wow. Actually, Ratcatcheress was the thing that gained the resilience. Which is Sabbath? Oh, no. Well, we get Gezras back, which is pretty nice, although get him in the range row to start off with is maybe not ideal. Let's go this for the maximum boostage, I suppose. Oh, we get Orb of Insight as well. Sure. We have, we would have a target for Circle of Life, except that Defender, the Cave Troll, is blocking us, so that doesn't really work. Means our damage is not really going to work at all here, in fact. So that kind of hurts. I mean, we'll do that for the sake of doing that, but it's not really going to do much of anything. I attempted to use our leader ability there to get some vitality going, but our turn has technically ended. Threw a random one on Ciaran, which, sure, could be worse. Yeah, I don't like they're loading up on this range row here. Yeah, we can actually hit that Incubus, and we can get rid of that Necker. We might prefer to get rid of that Necker, actually. It is overkill damage, but that is an engine that we'd like to get rid of. Probably should have used another charge of Nature's Gift as well. Let's see. They're going to keep on playing. They have Yaga. They can consume one of our cards. It's not huge, but that is, of course, still a decent play nonetheless. Let's see. We do this. Should have played that in the range row. Would have been better in the range row. Is that going to be enough? It is. Okay. That is still going to be enough, though. Would have been worth more points if we played in the range row, but it actually means we will win round 2 with card advantage. So you know what? We're in this, and they forfeit. Oh, man. They just get too greedy. There you have it. All right. We did it. All right, going against monsters here. And it's, okay. Force of Nature. Which, I'm not sure. Probably Relicts in that case. Be a little bit tough. All right, we have at least one target for hand boosting, and I think only one target. We have lots of boosters. Not a lot of target. I guess that's sort of a target. I guess that is too. But, well, now we don't have anything for you to boost. Let's dump you as well. Okay. Aglais is all the way on the left side. That's actually great. Not for you, but for you. Means we want the left option here. That will be guaranteed. Boost Aglais, and she is the ideal hand target, or hand boosting target. Ooh. Get out of here. Give us hand boosting. Boost Aglais. I love it. It's actually working. It's actually working. Please don't boost this. Please be greedy and don't boost this yet. Then we can do it again. Don't we have another? We do have another. You're gonna boost it. Darn it. In which case, we just go with you and do another round of guaranteed boost for Aglais. Let's do that as well. Oh, I didn't even see we had Hawker Smuggler. We should do that. Should have played that first, actually. That's usually the card that I'm waiting for us to get in round 1, and then we don't have it, and then I'm like, what? What do we do now? I mean, ideally we would have played it at the very beginning, but I think we do still go for it. And Orb of Insight. Technically, Nature's Rebuke on that Intriga Larva probably would have been better, at least short term. Let's see, and then we can actually destroy that. I don't think it's going to trigger the Death Blow. It's kind of a niche Death Blow scenario, but no, it does count. We got Wash of the Valley boosted. You can also boost Aglais, so that's probably our next play. She Who Knows. Let's lock you, because you're a problem. Okay. That was probably their biggest card that we just locked. I'm guessing they may pass here. Or at least we have significantly frustrated them. This? Okay, yeah, they do appear to be what is more or less a pure Relic deck. Okay, they've not passed us here. Do we boost Aglais? Sure, we'll boost Aglais. We'll get a little bit greedy. We do have the Hawker Smuggler down here, so technically the longer this round goes, the better. We've somehow boosted everyone except for Torque. Okay, that is going to be fairly strong. It is not quite enough for them to catch us, or at least, if they want to catch us, they're going to need to play another card. I think we settle for that. I guess we could have played Watch of the Valley. Got a lot of bleed on that, but kind of like saving all of our carryover. Okay, that works well for us, actually. We tie round 1. We're on even cards for round 2, and we have a bunch of carryover, so that should give us a decent advantage. Okay, we got some dwarf hand boosters, but we don't have any dwarfs to boost. Do we have elves to boost? We actually do. We actually do. Okay, this can work. I think Dunca goes first for the generic hand boosting. Okay, on El Conqueror, just point slam. Can't destroy it outright, so we'll do this. And we're probably going to want to, yeah, play you next, because we don't want you to receive the hand boost. We just want you to enable this guy. Ciaran. Oh, what are you going to make? We can destroy that, and we should immediately destroy that. That's a problem. Get out of here. This guy keeps on receiving the boost, though. We don't want that. Okay, there's the original Cache. They created a copy of it using Ciaran. At least we got rid of one of them. But we now should do this. Boost you. And we need time to get those vitalities to tick. So we're really hoping that we get more boosts on Aglais in particular. And that's going to be our key card there. So now we should probably use you on whatever their biggest card is. And then we're going to need another round of vitality here, I think. Okay, it's all come down to Aglais. Now at this point, though, we're guaranteed to get the boost on either Torque or Aglais, and if it goes to Torque, then he's going to also get the boost to Aglais. Okay. Oberon is not a card we particularly want to see them using right now. Now we just play Torque, who is unfortunately just a 5-point unit here, because despite being our ideal target in many ways for hand boosting, he only got boosted once at the very end. Okay, so we're going to want to play Aglais, then we're going to want to damage with Dunca. Shouldn't really matter who we hit. There's their Woodland Spirit. This is going to be tough, though. I don't think Aglais is going to be enough here. That's a pretty big lead they have right now. Do this. We damage you. And Aglais gets us up to 60, but it is not enough. Alright. That was a fun one, though, with the tie round one. The hand boosting carryover was not quite sufficient. Alright, let's try again. That one didn't feel like we were that far off. Of course, Monsters Relics, really strong. Just that it's usually a standard deck. I mean, in theory, you could play any standard deck in Battle Rush. It's just that, you know, you gotta play it fast, and suppose they were able to do that. So, whereas for us, we have a little more clicking that needs to be done. Makes it a little bit harder to do it in this event. But we'll see if we can get ourselves another win. Let's see, we're going up against monsters here. Oh, some Frost? Okay, that'll be interesting. Okay, we need targets, we need boosters. We have boosters. Several boosters, a lot of boosters, actually. Probably could use more targets. Let's get rid of you. And maybe Nature's Rebuke as well. We have Mahakam Defender all the way over here. So we could be a target for Bountiful Harvest. We might... Well, hold on. Let's start with the Hawker Smuggler. Go into that as early as possible. Probably play our other one next turn as well. We actually got a Torque boost. We actually got a Torque boost. Except then the other one went to Aglais. Or Ithlinne, of course it did. Okay, now we may want to do Bountiful Harvest. We may just go for a random boost. In fact, we have a pretty decent chance if we do a random boost of getting the card that we want. I don't like that you're moving our Hawker Smugglers out of the melee row. Unseen Elder. Early as well. Wow. That's pretty aggressive. Let's do this. Let's actually go for the random boost. I don't love that it's Double-Thonic Bomber. That feels like that is not really the card that we would like to be getting, but at least for boosting purposes, I didn't catch who received said boost, but hopefully it was a decent option. Or a decent person who did get boosted. Harpy Egg, I mean, it looks like we're probably not going to win round one. We're going to be relying almost exclusively on our hand boosting here. Give us the win in round 2 and round 3. A little bit happier about getting the Whisper Double-Thonic. Technically, probably should put that in the range row. Give it a little more room to move, but expand, but not sure we're going to have that many more turns here in round 1 anyway. If you're in Phantom... Oh, we're going to immediately destroy it. Okay, fair enough. I think now we probably go this route for the pure boost. get the echoed copy for the next round. They certainly are outpointing us here. We'd probably like to pass, because if they pass here, then we are probably not going to be able to catch them. That's going to be a problem. Unless they play She Who Knows, in which case, do we Isengrim's Council and hope for Ciaran? We didn't get him. That's a problem. That is a problem. We don't want to play any of these cards. Any of these cards at all. So this is lovely. They should pass here. They absolutely should pass here. If they do, we're kinda in a really tough spot. Thank you for not passing. We are definitely passing here, because we do not currently stand a chance in this round. I mean, I suppose we could have played Ithlinne, and then boosted, probably, I guess, Torque. That would have been best. That might have been worth doing. She just received a bunch of our boosts, and that's the one card in our hand that we didn't want to get boosted. Triss or Yen is your question? My answer is Shani. Okay, Ice Giants. Let's go Ithlinne, and then boost Torque. And anyone else should be fine, except we have Filavandrel's up to 15. So we definitely need to play him in the range row, otherwise he's not going to have anything to get. I don't believe there are any 15 provision cost Scoia'Tael special cards. Let's see. We might need to do that now. Or no, let's go Mahakam Defender. Maximize the amount of time that he gets boosted. But the carryover they got from She Who Knows is going to be a little bit problematic. They're going to move you. I mean, they might even be about to Yurden us in this melee row. Beast. Can we destroy it? Definitely not with you. Yeah. See, here's the thing. We're just going for the boost here. If we could have done Nature's Rebuke, damage you by 5, and then know that we would have some boosting on Sheldon, then we could get rid of you, but we don't know that. In fact, we don't really have any way of boosting Sheldon at this point. So, I think that means we are basically... We may need to go Filavandrel here. And we don't even know what we're going to get. Take your guess. Apparently, it's Waters of Brocklon, and we'll get 2 Pride Fledglings for Harmony. Fantastic. Fantastic. That's what we get for taking a little bit too long. I mean, he is a 15-point card, because we got so many hand boosts on him. But, okay. Do we try to get by with, without needing to play Sheldon or Torque? I think ideally we do. Probably should have used a leaderability charge or 2. Definitely should have. We're probably going to keep on playing here? Yeah, it's Yurden. Of course it's Yurden. The amount of times we've been Yurden today. Is kind of just ridiculous. We do need to Torque if we have any chance of succeeding here. Also, I pressed the leaderability button. Thank you very much. We also didn't need it, but I did anyway. I did not even notice what number we had, but okay. We will win round 2 with card advantage, as it turns out. Didn't feel like it, which is why I thought we needed our leaderability, but apparently not. Oh, but they still have She Who Knows, because they had Sabbath. Oh, man. That hurts. Okay, Dunca first, then Freixenet. Oh, no, Dunca, ideally Mahakam Defender. Like, we might have too many targets. Okay, we can probably make this... Oh, we didn't want Freixenet, because you're not going to have a Vrihedd boost. Should have gotten rid of you. I mean, you'll still spawn in a young Dryad, which is something, but... Kinda, sorta, but not really. I mean, we can destroy that Kikimore worker, for what it's worth, with Dunca, but we'd prefer, ideally, let's wait until the last minute to do that, to get as many hand boosts as possible. Ideally on Sheldon. Okay, fortunately, that was not a huge deal. This is at least a guaranteed Sheldon boost. We should do this. And next turn, we're going to play Sheldon, who will not have enough damage to destroy the Kikimore worker. That's going to be Dunca's job. I think we have this. We do that. We do this. There we go. We got it. Shani was not an option, Triss or Yen? Okay, so here's the thing. here's the thing about Triss or Yen. So it depends. Who am I answering for? Am I answering for Geralt? Like, am I playing The Witcher 3? If I'm playing The Witcher 3, and I have to choose between Triss or Yen, am I, trying to roleplay as Geralt? In which case, I have one answer. Or am I answering for myself, as if, I was actually in a relationship with this person? In my Witcher 3 playthrough, I went with Yen, because that's sort of, that's the person who Geralt has a relationship with in the books, and so, that's his partner. So I, to a certain extent at least, tried to be loyal to Yen, and, however, we're talking about me, myself, not the biggest fan of how Yen is constantly, bickering and putting Geralt down. It just feels like, alright, you are just very, very unpleasant to be around right now. So, IRL, I would probably not be too keen on spending a lot of time with someone like Yen for that reason. So, I suppose, like I said, Shani would be my preferred answer in that case, but, if I have to choose between Triss and Yen for myself, I'd probably go Triss. But again, if I'm trying to be Geralt, then I'd probably go with Yen. Okay, so we're going to get Skellige here, and they'll go first. Okay, let's see. So we have generic hand boosters, 2 generic hand boosters, in fact. Do we have a dwarf target? We do, for the Dwarven Agitator. That's good. I don't have any targets, actually. Let's get rid of Nature's Rebuke in that case. That gives us a little bit more in the way of targets. Okay. Definitely target light, though, when it comes to hand boosting. We'll start with our Hawker Smugglers, though we don't really have great options. Like, we don't care about Ciaran getting boosted. We'd like for it to be Sheldon, probably, more than anything, and I don't like that you are locking that. We do have another one. But I feel like if you have a Guara, you may very well have other locking units. Alright, oh, we actually did get Torque boosted there. That's cool. Let's go Bountiful Harvest, and let's go with the right unit, because we have Torque all the way on the right. Yeah, well, we're going to need to do something to boost that Sorceress up, so she can actually use her ability. But, I think Torque passed the boost over to the Mahakam Defender. That is good. That is good. Let's, let's play him now. And let's boost you, so we can actually use that ability later. Fortunately, he was boosted enough that even with the damage from the longship, that was sufficient. Okay, that was kind of silly to do that so early. Let's do hand boosting here on Sheldon. Is that going to be sufficient? We do this, maybe. I have no idea what this is going to be. It hit a unit that had a shield. Lovely. Fantastic. Let's go here. Get the Echoed. And basically, we're just going to do this, and we're going to dry pass in round 2, I think. This way, we get the round 1 win. We do get a somewhat decent amount of hand boosting. Not necessarily on all the units we'd like to get the hand boosting on, but could be worse. So Torque, when he gets boosted while he's in our hand, will boost another random card in our hand as well. So he's kind of the ideal target for hand boosting. Hold on, let's see. We want Dunca, that's good. We kind of sort of have a hand boosting target for elves, although not really ideal. Mahakam Defender, probably do better. We don't have any Dryads we'd like to boost. We're definitely dry passing here, though. So yeah, basically, Torque gives you more hand boosting in total. It's just not targeted because it boosts a random unit in your hand. So if you have one specific unit that you want to boost, then sometimes you might specifically want to target that unit rather than Torque. But if you're just like, hey, I just want the most possible boosts, then you can go for Torque. Alright, so now we got Aglais. That is another target for hand boosting, and a very good one with that. Works with Freixenet. That's awesome. Not sure we're going to get Circle of Life to work, though. Not sure Isengrim's Council's going to give us any good options here either. Well, we get Circle of Life. Okay. Yikes. Blue Boy. Well, we don't want to hit you. Dunca goes first, I think. Maximize the hand boosting. I mean, we could even lock and move Blue Boy. Rather not have to do that. They're gonna do the damaging for us, though. Of course. I think we'll continue to hand boost you. Actually, no, hold on. We take you out altogether, then you will not deal the damage. Really hoping you don't have more damage to take out Dunca, though. I'd like for her to stick around a little bit longer. You do have some damage. At least some. Okay, I think the sequencing is not perfect here, but just to keep Dunca alive, let's boost her. Let's go probably Freixenet next. Although we could actually remove... Hold on, we can remove Herkia. Let's remove Herkia. And actually get targeted hand boost. So, like, do we pick Aglais or do we pick Torque? Let's pick Aglais just so we can guarantee we get more boosts on Aglais. Again, the total hand boosting is technically more if we pick Torque, but then you don't know who you're going to get with that boosting, so is it worth it? Hard to say. All right, let's move you. What's it going to be? Maybe Dagger? And then we can potentially use Sheldon to get rid of Dagger immediately. Or Urnachad. It's going to be Urnachad. Yeah. Yeah, I think we do get rid of you now. This is going to be Urnachad. We'll use you. If you take the hit, it's not the end of the world. It is Urnachad, as expected. Which is not quite enough to destroy Freixenet. We'll use you. Boost Aglais, and you will get damaged a lot, but it's not the end of the world, and actually, surprisingly, you live. We should also use Leader ability soon. Okay, I think we're probably going with Watcher of the Valley next. Yeah, definitely. Let's do that to damage Urnachad, and then definitely want to get these out here. Ideally not on Dunca. I didn't see where the last charge went. That is Dagger. Okay. That was the card that initially I was thinking we would want to use Sheldon to get rid of. Is going to be a bit of a problem, but I'm hoping they're done with their damage now. Okay, so now we go and play Torque. And unfortunately, we can't get rid of Dagger with our damage on Dunca, so that's going to have to wait. So we're going to go Aglais plus Dunca last turn and hope that's sufficient. They might be Wild Boar the Sea. No, it's Hemdall. Okay, it's going to give them some boosting on Dagger, but I don't know. We might have this. We might have this. It's going to be close. It is going to be close. It's going to be close, but we are going to take the win. Ooh, GG. All right, there you have it. Against a Skellige deck, the likes of which, you know, that's one of those decks I always like, going with the Dagger. And getting as much boost as possible, and even the Sucrose plus Urnachad combo, I am definitely a fan of that as well. But with that being said, I think this might be a good place for us to wrap up here. We got a few wins with the deck. It was certainly challenging at the beginning, to find a way to make it work, because, well, it does take a while to play everything that you need to play and use all the abilities that you need to use. And we did make some adjustments to the deck. So maybe let's take a quick look here to see what the final deck looked like, because it is not what it looked like at the very beginning. So we went Gezras. This was basically just, we said, okay, we just need more points, plain and simple. Even if he's not directly hand boosting or a target for the hand boosting, why not? Filavandrel, target for the hand boosting for sure. Ithlinne to do a lot of that boosting. Aglais, huge target for the boosting. Shaping Nature, again, mostly just for putting up points, and a good way of having more special cards in our hand, so that way, when we are getting the hand boosting, if some of those cards in our hand are special cards, then obviously they can't get boosted, so we're more likely to get the cards that we want to get boosted to be the ones that receive those boosts. Then Isengrim's Council. I wasn't a huge fan of including this, because of course it does take a while to choose the card from your deck. You don't necessarily know exactly which one you're going to get, but the 2 boost sometimes means hand boosting cards can at least get something going for them. And I mean, ideally you're probably getting another card to do the hand boosting itself, to set up the cards that are already in your hand. Sheldon, the dwarf target for our hand boosting, and can do a lot of damage if we get him to get boosted a lot. Freixenet specifically here to boost Aglais, and then other than that, I mean, still worth a few points, I suppose. Symbiosis from the Young Dryad is kind of nice, since we did end up going with Symbiosis a bit as well. Then Torque, the new card that is the enabler of more hand boosting, was a little bit tricky to decide when to boost him and when to boost these specific cards that we wanted the hand boosting on, because of course, like we were saying, if you boost him, it does mean more total hand boosting, but it means you don't know who is going to get the boost, and so is it going to be the card you really want to get boosted, or is it going to be one of your ones that, you know, you don't really care about the hand boosting on, in which case, a little bit of a wasted opportunity. Dunca, another one of the hand boosters. Ciaran, just a tech card to lock whenever our opponent had big cards. Bountiful Harvest, definitely tough to play this one optimally because it does take some time to think about which card you want to boost, and then sometimes that means you're not choosing the best unit to create in the process, but that was generally what we prioritized, was boosting the card we wanted to boost rather than taking the ideal unit. And Smuggler, another one of the hand boosters. Nature's Rebuke, mostly just for the damage and to get more special cards, because again, trying to make it more likely that we are boosting the targets for hand boosting, and having special cards means there's a higher chance of that happening. Circle of Life, theoretically, can give us some hand boosting, but it is definitely difficult to get enough damage to make this work. In theory, combining this with Gezras could be a decent way to do that, although Gezras takes a little bit of time before you actually end up playing him and before he's dealing all that damage, so I don't know, are you really going to save this as one of your last cards? Probably not. And Mahakam Defender is a backup plan for hand boosting. We did end up using him a fair bit, so it works. And then Watcher of the Valley, similar to the Mahakam Defender, another backup plan for the hand boosting. I'd say probably a little bit lower on the priority list than even the Mahakam Defender, because yes, he is also generating one additional point per hand boost that he gets. Problem is, in this case, it's bleed rather than direct points. So this is tricky because that means you spend a whole bunch of time giving him a whole bunch of boosts. Chances are you're not going to have enough time to actually have that bleed deal all the damage, unless you happen to already have one down there, in which case it turns into direct damage. Then it would be much better. Then it would be comparable. Dwarven Agitator, a little bit tricky at times. We didn't always have dwarf targets for hand boosting, but of course the Mahakam Defender was one of them, and Sheldon was the ideal target. Then Vrihedd Sabotuer, basically just the elf version of the same card, although in this case, the target we were looking for would be Filavandrel. And that was it. So there's a look at hand boosting in the, Battle Rush events, which, it's tough. It is tough to make it work. But if you are very deliberate with what moves you take, you know what you want to do in advance, then it is possible. But let's just say some of the other decks that we played earlier, whether it be Northern Realms or certainly the double Kelly deck that we were playing earlier, probably still would be my preferred choice. But if you are absolutely just keen on playing the new Scoia'Tael hand boosting cards, then there you have it. Here's your deck. Well, that being said, thank you all for watching. That's going to be it for me for now, and hope you enjoyed the stream.